Hey everybody, this is Perch, and this is a topic that bugs me way more than I think the vast majority of you, and I acknowledge that kind of right out the gate. But I do believe in the value of at least being open with your facts, and that if you're going to kind of claim something and you're wrong, you should cop to it. I've been wrong many times. I don't think anybody should be scared to make a claim or to try and put something out. If you believe something, say it. If you're proven wrong, say you're proven wrong. Only a complete dick is going to come in and mock you for that if you're open about it. And there are plenty of dicks out on the internet. I get that, but all the same, if you put your facts out there, and if you get new information, you revise what you said. Easy peasy. This is something they teach you in literally second grade. My daughter last year was learning this lesson of, like, don't be afraid to take risks, and if you get it wrong, come clean. Easy. Not that hard. One of the narratives that's going on in comics right now, and it is bizarre because this is one where it is factually immediately provable as wrong. This is not a matter of opinion. It's not like saying, hey, apples are better than oranges. I mean, are they? I don't know. Sometimes I like apples, sometimes I like oranges. Whatever. Everything varies for people. You can say superheroes are a dying genre. All right, that's an opinion. There's some facts that support that. There's other facts that do not, but you can run with it and carry that, and more power to you. It's one of those things that there is some subjective aspects to it. You can get in and argue about the details. It's what us comic fans do with a good portion of our lives, so we're all familiar with that concept. But then there are other things that are just factually, they are facts. For example, if you go into space and you have no space suit, you will not be able to breathe. There is not oxygen in space. Nobody can come in and goes, well, that's your opinion, dude. No, that is not an opinion. That is a fact. If you say, well, this Marvel comic costs $3.99, and somebody comes in and goes, well, that's just your opinion. You go, no, bitch, it says $3.99 on the cover. It's printed on the cover. It's $3.99. And yes, it is true that 6 months from now, it could go into a quarter bin, or it could go into a $10 bin, or it could be, the price can change. But when it was printed and sold for $3.99. That is the price on the cover. That is an undisputable fact. That is where it is. But there is one of these things that is going around a lot. And I see it in places like CBR and Bleeding Cool and Comics Beat with Heidi McDonald and those guys. They repeat this line that is absolutely factually just wrong. And my question mark is, are they doing it deliberately, or are they just thoroughly misinformed about the business? And it goes like this. DC Comics has cut their production by 25%, or sometimes 40%. I've seen both of those facts thrown out there. Neither of those facts is correct at all by any metric. You can do the math any way you want. You can look at the previews catalog. There is no way that you can, with a straight face, make that claim without piling so many ridiculous disclaimers on it that you're just intentionally being very disingenuous. I have seen people say, well, DC cut 25% of their line. But what I mean by that was traditional superhero books that I used to read, and I'm not counting the books they added or any of their horror line or Black Label. So if I carve all those things out, then they're 25% smaller. Still no, by the way, but okay, that is a useless figure. That's like saying, hey, I am eating 25% less food. That's my weight loss regimen, not counting cake and donuts and other sweets that I have, though I don't count that as food. So therefore, I'm not counting that as food. That is, you're being ridiculous, and you know it. If you come to the Friday streams, we put up, here's the comics that are coming out. And if you do possess the ability to count, basic counting math skills, not addition, or not even addition. We need a greater than, less than. That's all you need to do. Once upon a time, the New 52 was something that DC came out with. And one of the more ridiculous aspects of the New 52 was DC was determined to keep 52 books going. They're like, we are publishing 52 books. That is what the New 52 is. It's 52 books. I don't know. This is Dan Didio's idea. I'm not sure who was fixated on that number. At some point, DC went, wait a minute, why are we publishing 52 books? We can't sell 52 books. And then they cut it a little bit. And I remember old IGN, which used to be the news site that irritated me the most because they were the most obvious shills for any comic they were getting for free. But Bleeding Cool would do this all the time too. It's like, I don't know, DC's once they were shipping 52, but now it's 48. And when asked for comment, DC did not get back to us on why they're shipping 4 fewer books. And it's like, Jesus, who cares? But this was was an obsession by DC. 52 books. Today, DC is publishing anywhere, I mean, by month for month, in the high 80s to 90s of books. Now, you might say, well, wait a minute, that new 52, there was also some things that weren't part of the new 52, some of the other, like the various stuff around it that they were published. That's true, they had others. So even when they were publishing 52 books, DC was actually publishing more than 52 books. But they were not publishing 40 more books from the new 52. DC is putting out more comics today than before the whole Warner Media, AT&T layoffs, everything else. That is a fact, not a, well, that's your opinion. That is a numerical fact. You can go and look at the books that they shipped in previews. You can look at what they've done month over month. Obviously, they're not in Diamond previews anymore, but you can look at what they're soliciting. They are promoting and putting out more titles today than they were a year ago. Fact. Just plain fact. They are putting out more titles today than in most of the months for the new 52. Again, this is math. This is greater than or less than basic arithmetic. However, this is something that comic journos, and I mean, none of these people are journalists, period. I'm sorry. I don't care what award you won for comic journalism. You gave it to yourself. That is not a... please, just stop. But it is this line that keeps getting repeated, that comic books are, the DC has cut, again, 25 to 40% of their line. Bears no resemblance to anything, which again makes me ask the question, are you doing this intentionally? And if so, why? Are you trying to kind of portray the DC is screwed? Is that the goal? Are you, is Marvel paying you? Like, what are you even doing? And keep in mind, by the way, that if it was up to me, DC would publish 25% less. I think that's a grand idea. They are publishing way too much. They're spreading themselves thin. They're putting stuff out with zero marketing support. They don't have the editorial staff to put out the books they're putting out. Yeah, cutting back would be a very smart plan. Now, maybe they're not cutting back just to spite the YouTube critics who said they were going to go out of business in June. Maybe that's what's going on. But if it's funny, I have moved from there is zero chance they're going to stop publishing comics in July, and because they weren't, that was never going to happen. I have moved from no way to they're certainly doing a lot of things that's going to blow them up. Things like publishing way too many books than they know how to support, offering zero marketing, not getting back to a lot of their creators who are trying to reach out and get work, like Pete Tomasi and I mean legit big name people. The price point, their distribution plan, all these things, they do look shakier to me today in October than they did back in February. Much shakier. And least of all, they've cut so much of their editorial staff. I have no idea how they're going to get out the books they're getting out. And I have no idea what kind of insane maniac is in there going, yeah, publishing 86 books? That sounds like a good plan to me. Let's do it. Is nobody in the company like raising their hand going, hey, that's a lot of books. I can't help but notice that many of these books are not even selling well because we don't have a chance to, we're not even marketing what's going on, in any kind of clear way. What is our strategy here? What are we trying to do? Does anybody know? Not sure. But back to my original question. Are the people who keep, vomiting out this 25%, 40% reduction, do they know their line and they're doing it for some kind of sneaky three-dimensional chess reason? Or Are they just incapable of counting? Like any of you could do. Anyone right now listening to this video can go to the solicitations. Oftentimes, here's the part that makes me most insane. Many of these sites, they print the solicitations as a news article. There's a link you can click on. It's like, here's everything DC is offering for December. This is what they've got. And then they publish an article a couple days later talking about how DC has cut the line 25%. But it's like, did you read your own article? I mean, literally, you have the solicitations right there. You can count. I mean, hell, I forget which one. I wasn't Newsarama. It was one of these sites had even listed the solicitations with numbers. So you didn't even have to count. You could just scroll to the bottom and you're like, yep, 86. Like that, it was right there. I don't know what's worse. The idea that somebody is intentionally trying to game the number for, again, reasons that completely baffle me. I have no concept of what anyone would have to gain by making this claim that is absolutely untrue, by numerical proof untrue. I'd love sit down with me and explain to me what the strategy is for some random comics journalist on Bleeding Cool to pretend that there are fewer comics coming out than there actually are. What is the game there? This is stupid games for stupid people. I don't know what's worse, that somebody's gaming it, or if they are incapable of doing the very basic counting to prove or disprove their own claim. Given that these are, by reputation, by what they're calling themselves, news sites, these are places we're supposed to go to get information. It worries me that even the most basic, like one of the easiest possible things you can do, counting, is not worth the time. And if that's not worth the time, then how am I supposed to believe other takes on the industry when we see these articles posted about, I don't know, how much money the comic industry is making, or just various financials? Hang on, you're telling me you want me to trust the financial information you're putting out when you cannot count the amount of books coming out in a certain month? I'm sorry, that's insane. I understand. I am being kind of this gets on my nerves. It's an absolute pet peeve because it's. I mean, this isn't even an unforced error. This is just a bizarre error. It's this thing that people keep repeating. I do think one of the things that is going on though is somebody made this claim, and everybody else is like, "Oh, I heard that claim," and they're just repeating it, and nobody's actually taken the time to go wait a minute. It's been 6 months since we all said DC was cutting the line by 25%. I wonder, are they doing that? Is that what actually happened? Is anyone doing that? Because that would be a good idea. Is anybody asking the questions of, hey, this company that has laid off more than 25%, I think 50% of the editorial team, is it a good idea for this company to be cranking out this many books? I don't know. That seems like a really good column, a good question somebody should ask. That sounds like a good plan. But questioning the industry is one of those things that everybody is too just piss scared to do. Because if they question the industry, they're afraid that either, on one end, the comps will dry up, or maybe somebody won't talk to them, they won't give an exclusive, or they won't be an insider, they won't go to they won't go to the crazy sex party that whoever's replaced Warren Ellis as the sex pest of the business is hosting. I mean, who is that what's going on? I have to believe. I mean, comics, in particular, news and journalism, and all that stuff, seems to exist primarily to serve the interest of the person reporting on it, not the interest of actually getting the news out there. Because really obvious, really basic stories get completely ignored in favor of, I would say towing the company line, but in this case, the company line is the solicitations. The company line is 86 books. This is towing some bizarre stat that, again, is disproved within seconds. I don't get it at all. I don't get any. I absolutely don't understand this, but it absolutely drives me nuts. There's so many things in comics and news like this where these statements get kind of thrown out, and they are absolutely untrue, and I'm not sure who they're for anymore. Is this something like who are we appealing to? Who are we marketing toward? What is going on here? I don't get it at all. Look, my stance as always, and I get that this might be a little confusing to people because it requires kind of two things to be listened to at once. It is untrue that DC has cut their line by 25 to 40%, as proven by DC's solicitations that come out, by proving about what DC is actually advertising every month. By the way, a disclaimer here. Every now and then, I've made these comments sometimes before. People are like, well, yeah, but most of those comments are crap. Most of those comics, are crap. That comment is crap. Most of the comics are crap. Okay, but math is still math. If you're putting out 86 books and 40 of them are crap, you're still putting out 86 books. The fact that it is crap or not crap is somewhat irrelevant to what you're printing. Anyway, I don't know why I get wound up about this, but it's these very, very obvious, very stupid lies. That's what makes me crazy. Anyway, let me know if this stuff drives you crazy or if you're just laughing at me on the inside or outside. Either way, thanks for listening.